I wanted to serve my country because I love this country. I'm very, very lucky to be here and to live here. My father was in for 18 years. My grandfather was in World War II. My great uncle died in D-Day. So it's just kind of a family tradition to every male is pretty much served. So it's something I've wanted to do since I was a little kid. I've always loved it. We used to go out actually a lot in civilian clothes when we first got over there to do different runs, and we'd get pop shots off at us all the time. There was attacks on the base pretty much weekly. I mean, there's always a risk. There's people that you lose, especially in wartime, you know. I carry one guy on my wrist. He died in Baghdad in 2007, March 17th. He was 19 years old, so it was tough. I knew him since he was a little kid. Yeah, so it was tough. Got hit by an IED in downtown, so I ended up dealing with a lot of the things that happened in the military with drugs and alcohol. Like that was just a fallback crutch for me because when I was working for these other companies I was using, like all that mattered was using. I was just working to use. Like that's it. It took a lot out of my life. It definitely was a huge thing to where for years that was my go-to to deal with the things that I couldn't talk about because I wasn't comfortable talking about it. I ended up being with this girl. I tried to leave her, and we ended up getting into a fight. She grabbed me as I'm trying to leave, and I pushed her off me. She ended up calling the cops after, and I ended up literally sitting in jail for 4 months, waiting for trial. Everything gets suspended because they did not believe anything that she was saying, but I didn't have bail money to bail out, so that's the reason why I had to sit in jail. So when I got out of jail, I literally had jeans, sneakers, and a shirt. I had nothing. I lost everything that I owned. I lost all my tools. I lost everything. So I was literally starting over from scratch. I called the Homeland Heroes, and I'll never forget it. After talking with Julie Weymouth for a good half an hour and explaining the whole situation to her, she literally bought me a bed. I didn't even have a bed at the time. That was probably one of the nicest things that anybody's ever done for me. We talked a lot. I opened up to her completely about everything that I was going through, my issues that I had, and she pushed me to reach out to the VA. And it was literally life-changing for me. I ended up going through a PTSD program. I ended up going through some different types of therapies and stuff like that, counseling every week, and that was the first time in my life that I was able to live literally drug and alcohol free for over 3 years. Julie was continued there and the Homeland Heroes for the whole duration of me going through all that. I would always go to their events to volunteer, passing out turkeys for Thanksgiving and hams for Christmas and presents and stuff like that. She kind of took me under her wing and became a family member to me. I know I wouldn't be where I'm at right now without their help. That organization changed my life. It got me to be able to do the things I'm doing now. So I was working at a company down in Cambridge, just doing masonry on some of the buildings down there and everything like that. And I believe it was May of last year when the pandemic was going really full. I was like, you know what? I don't want to work for somebody anymore. I was like, I'm gonna go out and I want to do my own thing. And I was able to get in a few jobs, and I just started pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And It's just had a snowball effect from there. Julie gave me a computer so I could do all my estimates. Homeland literally has pushed me out on their website because of the fact that I do hire veterans, that I'm a veteran myself. So I got 6 guys working for me. I run my company to where it's not the guys working all and me taking all the money. I'm giving weekly bonuses. I give paid time off. I give holidays. In the construction industry, that is unheard of. I have a whole bunch of different stressors now, but I'm able to deal with them in a healthy way. But starting next year, I want to donate a portion of every single job that I do back to the foundation. I have big visions for this company. I mean, ultimately, the goal is to be running someday 4 different crews at once, have 30 to 40 employees. The good thing with Julie and the Homeland Heroes is I never got judged. She's a person to where I can call 24/7 and she'd be there in a second for me. I'm very lucky to have somebody like that in my life. To have people believe in you when you don't believe in yourself, and especially in that early stages of, it's just so much easier just to give up and just, instead of putting in that work to get to where you want, to kind of have that little cheerleader there is definitely a huge help. I never in my life would have pictured thinking I'd be sitting here openly talking about the issues that I had with all of that. Sometimes it's the hardest thing to do. It is, it's not sometimes, it is the hardest thing to humble yourself to say that you do need help, especially with how we're built up to think of things like that. You're looked at as weak, stuff like that. It's not. It's one of the bravest things that you can do. If maybe one person seeing this can kind of relate to what I'm saying and maybe just take that first step to reaching out to the Homeland Heroes or the VA. Homeland Heroes, if you need help, reach out to them. They can help you with whatever you need. That's why, you're supposed to lay down, continue laying instead of building yourself into a U, because sometimes this will be pushed up a little bit. That's why I'm fighting this right now. I'm not the same person that I was 5 years ago. Completely different, and it shows in my work. It shows in how I treat people. It shows in the people that depend on me. Now I care about who I am. I'm happy with who I am. Still not the best. I still make mistakes all the time. I wake up every morning. I literally think about how lucky I am to have been able to make it through all this. With the help of Julie and Homeland Heroes, with the help through the doctors at the VA, getting to the point where I can actually give back. That's a huge thing for me. And I don't know why it is like that, but I feel like that a sense of service to other people is the best way to live.